3 institutes and 6 centers. A total of 14 graduates were awarded the first degree at his very first convocation in 1974. Interestingly, at this year's convocation, a total of 8,863 persons are graduating from this university. I am proud to say that the outstanding achievements of the university in these past years have been made possible through strict adherence of successful administration to the pursuit of the university philosophy, which is based on its motto, knowledge for service. The university has its vision statement to establish a model institution of higher learning which ranks among the best in the world and responsive to the creative and innovative abilities of the Nigerian people. While the mission statement is to develop the human mind to be creative, innovative, competent in areas of specialization, knowledgeable in entrepreneurship, and dedicated to service. Once again, I welcome all of you to this event, as I urge you to be attentive as we drink from Dr. Ravida Shah's fountain of knowledge. I wish you all a fruitful and rewarding academic exercise. Thank you. God bless you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Chancellor, University of Benin, Professor Oji Oshodi JP. Can we appreciate him one more time with a round of applause, please? Thank you. I now have the singular honor and pleasure to invite to the microphone the University of Benin orator, Dr. Eddie Eragbe, to introduce our guest lecturer.
I respectfully invite our guest lecturer to please stand for recognition while we read a brief profile. Chancellor, sir, it's indeed my singular honor to present Professor Ravindra M. Shah. He is an intellectual powerhouse, an international scholar with very varied, diverse, stimulating, and challenging experiences. He epitomizes academic brilliance and radiance. A rare breed, Shah is an astute, competent, efficient, and accomplished organizer and administrator. A man with unquenchable and unwavering passion for building international bridges of cooperation. Shah is a de facto diplomat and an ambassador, an outstanding lecturer who exhibits the finest of pedagogic skills, a doyen of scholarly research, a most sought-after international speaker. He remains an icon and a distinguished and splendid academic. He embodies brilliance, intelligence, insightfulness, and resourcefulness. This towering international intellectual figure slightly missed having the same birthday with the University of Benin, because he was born on 25th November 1953 in his beloved country of breathtaking enchantment, India. He obtained his bachelor's degree in dentistry and surgery from University of Bombay, India in 1966. He had his internship in oral surgery from NH Dental College, Bombay, India in 1967. He subsequently obtained his master's degree in surgery from State University of New York at Buffalo, New York City United States in 1971. It was in 1976 that he obtained his doctorate degree from Queen's University, Kingston, Ontario, Canada. This set him on the path of a very glorious international professional career. Professor Shah has been involved in lecturing, research, and university administration for almost 40 years. In the process, he has established himself as a conscientious, hard-working, and world-renowned scholar and administrator. While based at University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada, he has continued to spread his academic tentacles to different parts of the world, including universities in Asia, Europe, America, and today, the University of Benin, by the instrumentality or our pace-setting and indefatigable Vice Chancellor, Professor O.G. Oshedin, JP. Dr. Shah has a very robust, visible, and impressive profile at University of British Columbia. He has been chairman of numerous UBC committees. He is the current director, International Relations Faculty of Dentistry of UBC, and the current chairman, Research Day Poster Competition of the same faculty. A consummate academic, he has been chairman and examiner in more than 50 PhD and MSc examinations at both UBC and other international universities. He has been invited as guest lecturers through speaker to more than 100 universities in different parts of the world. While in most of them, he gave keynote addresses. He has remained an invaluable asset to his university, many professional associations, Canada, and indeed the international academic community. He provides services to over 25 international world-class journals as either editor or reviewer. For his research productivity, sterling lecturing prowess, his invaluable contributions to the pursuit of research and advancement of knowledge, his fostering of international linkages in education, he has received numerous awards, including being conferred with an honorary doctorate degree by Chung Sha Medical University, Tangchung, Taiwan in 2011. The chairman of Chung Sha Medical University, Dr. Chu Ju Chun, recognized Dr. Shah's significant contributions and achievement in education and research through international academic exchanges. The University of British Columbia and the Chung Sha Medical University share a long-term commitment of international relations, where Dr. Shah has played an instrumental role facilitating international exchanges between the two institutions. For close to 27 years, Dr. Shah has provided leadership to UBC's Dentistry Stream's International Relations Program for students. This very successful and enterprising international student education program boasts 41 countries, including Australia, Austria, Brazil, China, Denmark, Egypt, Fiji, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Romania, Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Switzerland, Thailand, etc. The international program runs year-round. Each year, over 100 students from these various countries come to UBC Dentistry at different times of the year for 1 week to 3 months and gain experience in the undergraduate or graduate programs. Dr. Shah is the mentor host for all the visiting international students, guiding them in organizing their academic pursuits as well as social and cultural programs. Through this program, UBC Dentistry has attracted numerous graduate students to the faculty of the university. Bringing international students to UBC is only half the story of Dr. Shah's international relations. He also organizes UBC dental students' academic visits to a total of 20 countries, Belize, Brazil, China, Cambodia, Costa Rica, Nepal, Panama, Paraguay, Taiwan, Uganda, United Kingdom, USA, and by the special grace of God, University of Benin is joining the list. In Dr. Shah's words, given during his honorary doctorate degree acceptance speech at Chungsheng Medical Center, he sees himself, I quote, as a catalyst to connect our institutions and people in this science and technology-inspired, rapidly globalizing society, end of quote. It is to the credit of our focused and mission-driven Vice Chancellor, Professor O.G. Oshodi, that he cut this big wig to fast-track the repositioning of University of Benin in the committee of the foremost universities in Nigeria and indeed the globe. Chancellor, sir, it is this amiable, courteous, highly motivated, a man with impeccable accomplishments, an international scholar of iconic proportion, who has close to 170 publications, a citizen of the world, an astute and splendid administrator, Dr. Ravindra M. Shah, BDS, MS, PhD, that are now most respectfully invited to deliver the 2012 Convocations to Founders Day Lecture of the great University of Benin. Dr. Shah. Congratulations. Thank you. I will do that. I will do that. Okay.
Just 1 second. You already. Can I take it out? It's still very low. It's off the screen.
You have to put it on full screen.
It is on full screen.
Put your slide on full screen.
Here?
Your slide. Slide, yeah.
How's that?
Full screen.
How is that?
Full screen mode is not showing here. View.
You
You
change
need to
something?
put it on view. Please play. Sorry.
Where is the display?
Play. Okay.
How's that?
Yeah, it's full screen. You can pack it now.
Hello. I am truly honored by the invitation delivered to this Founders Day lecture at the University of Benin in Nigeria. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chancellor of University of Benin, Professor Oshodi. But I also think that the architecture of this arrangement, this invitation, also involved two other individuals. One is Professor Lawrence Ezimonier, who is sitting somewhere around here, of your university, and another one is Mr. Zubi Nosu, who actually connected me to the University of Benin. Thank you, Professor Osudin, Professor Ezimonier, and Mr. Nosu for extending this invitation to me to address this distinguished gathering at the University of Benin in this celebratory occasion. Founders' Day signifies the origin or the primordial establishment of something in our human life. That something could be a family, an institution, a company, or even a country. A Founders' Day is like a birthday, a day of celebration. In the system of higher learning, a Founders' Day commemorates the establishment of a university and provides opportunity for recognition and reflection of its founders, its history, and its heritage. In addition, it also recognizes the potential growth and aspirations of its youth, its faculty, and the society in which the institution operates. The idea of establishing an institution of higher learning, which later morphed into degree-granting university, is not new. Such institution existed in several millennia-old India, where Taxila and Nalanda in 7th and 5th century BCE, and Plato's Academy in Athens in 387 BCE, and University of Nanjing in China in 285 BCE. But I will skip its history, and I will arrive at the University of Benin in Nigeria, which was established in 1971 AD. But the past is past. Let's look into the future. And here, I have a confession to make. Some time back, when your university asked me to give this Founders' Day lecture, I did not tell them what I'm going to tell you now. I have never attended a Founders' Day celebration in my life. I have never attended Founders' Day ceremony because, first, when I was young, I didn't know that such tradition even exists. Second, when I went through school and college during my growing years, our family's economic circumstances were well below modest. In those circumstances, my parents and family provided the only thing that they could provide, and that is called unconditional love to their children. The rest had to be developed and achieved by a growing individual as his or her life unfolded. My parents lived through 2 world wars, and that was during colonial India's time. And they raised 7 children. They did not even go to college and themselves for education, but they were functionally literate. They, however, ensured that their children went to school, college, and university because they believed that education is the pathway to expand one's life as well as this world. To them, education was better than no education. As my parents took a chance on their children, I benefited from their chance. So when your university invited me to deliver this Founders' Day lecture, I realized that the Founders' Day is something that I have to learn about in my life from scratch. A kind of primordial learning, if I may say, or if a founders would say. But that was always thought, but I have always thought that no one is ever that old that he or she can't learn more things. Age shouldn't be a barrier in learning. I was born in a small town in India, during colonial India, during the Second World War. Other than some little defect in my eye, accidental defect. There was nothing special during my growing years into adulthood. But post-colonial India, free India, however, gave me a foundational education and a value system to develop my life as an individual in this planetary world. I'm grateful for that. In India, I learned about the concept of unity in diversity, as well as non-violence as a fundamental ideas of human development and existence in this universe. As I grew through my 20-something years and thereafter, I have learned, either through personal interactions or through writings of various individuals and a lot of other people at the time. This list is very, very long, but your own son in Nigeria, Wally Soyinka, is one of that individual, and I put them in my picture too, because I've learned a lot from his life too. And as I met more people and traveled through the world, I have learned that this is our world. We are the product of this world. We have inherited this world, and we are responsible for this world. In the process, I was always reminded of what Mark Twain once noted. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness. All these exposures and experiences have helped me to explore, experiment, experience, and expand daily living and the architecture of life. I carry a sense with me that I'm a product of this environment. Throughout history, we humans have drawn territorial boundaries on our planet. Through our mind and heart, we have created divisions and barriers in our human society through language, culture, ethnicity, gender, racial barriers, religious barriers, class, caste, everything that is listed in this slide. The problem still persists. It hasn't disappeared. We are constantly reminded of this problem. Why and how did human society allow creation of various barriers? What did the human society gain in the process? I'm willing to argue that there is no chosen society or chosen culture or even chosen people or their chosen ideas to shape our daily living and our planetary destiny. This is because I would like to think that all humans have potential to grow and assume a collective responsibility towards all the processes that supports all forms of life on this planet. Such claims of being chosen only divides human destiny further. There is no need or reason to divide human society. Society's development and progress must occur through understanding, cooperation, and communication, and not through war or conquering in any form. Civilization is the consequence of challenge and responses, as Arnold Toynbee said in his books, A Study of History. I don't need to go through this history of human civilization, which, as we know today, is full of war, hunger, disease, and poverty. But the same history has also some elegant moments of human ingenuity and creativity, the development of dreams and ideas leading to the moments of excellence in our collective existence that has brought us to where we are today. Originally, the march of our human civilization started in Africa, not too far from where you are sitting, where you all are sitting right now. And that has brought us to this age of internet, that I can come here and talk through this computer with you guys. Recently, this has been very elegantly captured by a couple of books which I've noted in this slide. But the human development and destinies were shaped in past and currently continue to be shaped through the development of science and technology, fostered by the dreams of the people who pursue these things and the pursuit of excellence to realize the dream. Sociologically, humans still appears to be cave dwellers. But we have evolved from the bows and arrows to the wheel, from steam power to electricity, and from printing press to internet. On a global scale, however, we have not yet realized or derived the full benefit of the science and technology-based industrial revolution due to a variety of factors that has allowed imperial powers to colonize this world for their own gain. Human society, however, continues to endeavor towards replacing hard and treacherous human physical labor with chemicals, machines, and robots. Our modern world of 21st century is at the crossroad of science and technology and the art of living. More than ever before, now we know that all thoughts and ideas are human-made. One may follow this historical analysis in a couple of these references that I've listed in this slide also. But as has been previously said and noted many times and structured variously, great minds discuss ideas, average mind discuss events, and small mind discuss people. Today, I would like to enhance the vision of the founders of any institution in the world by discussing a few ideas that, in my view, as well as that of many others, will determine and shape the destiny of this planet, at least in the foreseeable future, through the 21st century. What are some of these ideas that I think will contribute to the shaping destiny of this planet? As Oscar Wilde said, man is made for something better than distributing the dirt. All work of that kind should be done by the machines. Science is one of the rare things that defines us as special human species. Our desire to understand the world is what defines us as human beings. We have recognized that creation and development of life is a scientific question, which we are very close to answering with the use of modern science and technology. Not only the existence of sexual and asexual modes of reproduction that exist in nature, we are now capable of producing life in a culture dish using genetic material and chemicals. In order to understand the nature of life on Earth and our physical environment, science and technology has now become our soft, hard, and smart power, if I borrow the words of Joseph Nye, who was the former Undersecretary of State in the United States. There is no turning back. What is learned cannot be unlearned. Professor Michio Kaku, a Japanese person by origin, one of the proponents of string field theory, wrote in his book, Physics of the Impossible, in 2008. He said that three discoveries in three fundamental areas, the DNA theories of life, the atomic theory of matter, and computer technology showing that the working of mind are based on logic and electrical circuits, these three ideas have laid the foundation of science. Now, in the future, during foreseeable future, we will become master of these areas. At the turn of the 21st century, the human genome was deciphered. This development has now created the possibility of not only diagnosing the entire gamut of human diseases, but also treating them to enhance the quality of life on this planet. Opportunities that were not even heard of just a quarter century ago are now available in the areas of biotechnology and biomaterials, stem cell biology, the genome sequencing treatment of health problems, research into aging, and diagnostic sciences such as MRI and CT scanning, and many other areas that can help and enhance the quality of life in larger human society. As Professor Kaku noted recently, that even our toilets will have a DNA chip embedded in it. To paraphrase his thoughts, such a DNA chip would analyze enzymes, proteins, and genes for cancer and other diseases to fight them long before they even have a chance to develop. But we will still have the common cold. There are at least 300 different rhinoviruses, and you need to have a vaccines for each one of them. No company is going to do that because it is going to bankrupt a larger corporation to make vaccines for each one of the viruses. The nature of medical practice will change. We will be more occupied with rearranging our own genome and less worried about saving lives, since we have no preventive measure to stop mortality. We know that the gene that corrects things. We are rapidly learning about genetic repair mechanisms to correct cells and regenerate organs by growing new ones. Human health will be viewed in a new dimension. With the advancement in molecular genetics and cellular and molecular biological sciences, new disciplines of learning have emerged in the form of synthetic biology that designs organisms and systems biology that deciphers the ever so complex molecular architecture that regulates and controls activities inside the cell. Further advancement in these areas will require education and training of a completely new and different generation of scientists and technologies for knowledge development and its translation and its application. We will have to design new curriculum. In his classic book, Singularity is Near, futurist Dr. Ray Kurzweil foresee an increasing rate of evolution of both man and machine with ever-improving software that could impact issues of food and energy security and human longevity. In his compelling narrative, Imaginary Future, Richard Barbrook in 2007 indicated that using mobile phones, computers, printers, cameras, and invention of internet has changed our civilization and brought this civilization on the cusp of creating a post-industrial information society that can help people shape information technology in their own interest and reinvent their own improved visions of their own future. Going further, into 2012, a team of scientists from throughout the world, about 3,000 individuals, were working at CERN laboratories at the junction of Switzerland and France. And they replicated the condition of Big Bang that occurred nearly 14 billion years ago and created our present universe. They have observed a new particle which is consistent with what we call Higgs boson today, and that particle may be one of the keys to solve the formation of this universe. This was an international collaboration, and it is the real marvel is that they created science and technology, through science and technology, how these machines and how we can understand the universe. The possibilities are boundless right now, and we just have to wait for a little more time. These are only a few examples from scientific disciplines of physics, chemistry, biology, and complemented by human ingenuity that is evidenced in mathematics and engineering. How futuristic can one get? If you really want to go a little further, and this is the last item I'm going to produce about futurism, Professor Kaku, Michio Kaku thinks, we physicists rank civilization by energy. A type 1 planetary civilization uses all the energy that is available on the planet. In 100 years, we will be type 1. We are still growing into type 1 right now. We will control our weather, we will control our earthquakes, and we will be able to control volcanoes eventually. We will control planetary life. Type 2 civilization will be the stellar civilization, and we will be able to control stars like you see in the movie Star Trek. Then in type 3, we will be able to work through the entire galaxy, where we will be able to control Milky Way galaxy also. He further notes that at this moment we are in transition, and at this stage in our human civilization, we are in type 1 at the level of 0.7. Now today, the advancement of science and technology is developed and pursued in every corner of the world, is not localized in Western society, as was the case in the past. This pursuit will have enormous social, political, cultural, and economic impact during the coming decade. Hence, it is incumbent upon all systems and institutions to inculcate in the up and coming generation of individuals with the ideas of advancing science and technology. For the new generation, excelling in science and technology must become a dream to be cherished. But what is a dream? Dreams are unknown frontiers. They test the limit of our imagination. Dream can transform a curious individual by developing a sense of idealism. Because without idealism, one can't be creative or progressive. The process of dreaming is inherently experimental. It may allow a person to fantasize beyond mediocrity without the fear of unknown and uncertain by dissolving the borders or the boundaries. But the process of dreaming also creates expectations. I genuinely believe that in our modern world, no human should be denied the possibility of dreaming something new, something different, or something that is not even in existence at this time. In the end, all dreams and ideas should recognize the need to see things clearly and see them as they are, and not about one sense of self-importance. Ultimately, one needs to engage and act upon the ideas and dreams. Hard work is just not enough. One also requires development of skills to bring ideas to fruition. In pursuit of ideas and dreams and skills, one must develop various capacities and capabilities that can create a journey towards the excellence. The idea of excellence in any pursuit must be embedded in the idea of the dream. It has been repeatedly said through the history that pursuit of excellence is a journey. Excellence has no boundary. Excellence can come from anywhere. Excellence can come from anyone, male or female, young or old. A pursuit of excellence is not about where you come from, but it is about where you are going. Such excellence has no ending. To move forward towards the journey of excellence, a person must have a spirit of self-belief to do the great things, and the drive and the focus to follow a destiny where average person can't see a path leading to anywhere. The big picture is about excellence in one's pursuit and not mere the pursuit of success. It is only when society and the individual dreams of excellence in pursuit that we can redeem ourselves to create a futuristic, healthy society based on caring, sharing, and giving rather than merely accumulating. The new generation should dream of being a caregiver, a knowledge developer, a problem solver in a society where children, the elderly, the disabled, and indeed every human can receive proper care and knowledge to solve life's issues and pursue meaningful life of self-respect and dignity. Let me conclude my presentation today by remarks by simply stating that the thoughts of an individual who was a true founder and practitioner of the idea of non-violent society and who has inspired me and countless others without living long enough to have knowingly done so. Be the change you want to see in the world. That's what Mahatma Gandhi said. And I was impressed by these words. But I was not the only one who was impressed. Have I succeeded in being the change? I'm not sure. But countless others around the globe, be it Wangari Maathai in Kenya, who advocated planting of million trees and got a Nobel Prize for that, and Mrs. Maathai died actually just a year ago, on 26th of September 2011. Or you think of Nelson Mandela in South Africa, to whom education must be the tool to change the world. Or you think about Martin Luther King in the United States, who had a dream that his children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the contents of their character. These were the ideas these founders have learned from Mahatma Gandhi, and they have carried them further in their life. So these ideas are as relevant today as they were then in the history. Once again, thank you for inviting me to deliver this Founders Day lecture at your university during this week of graduation ceremonies. I sincerely hope that all new graduates excel in their own pursuit and in their own dream. Thank you for your time and your patience in listening to me. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our 38th Convocations to Founders Day lecturer, once again, Dr. Ravindra M. Shah. Can we please appreciate him one more time? Thank you very much, sir. And I have the pleasure to invite the registrar of the university to please handle the presentation of gifts to the lecturer.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as is usual on occasions like this, we present a token to our guest lecturer. And I have the permission of the Vice Chancellor to respectfully invite the Chancellor to present the gift to the lecturer.
Distinguished representatives of the Oba of Benin, the Vice Chancellor, other members of the management of the University of Benin, distinguished invited guests, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I wish to, on behalf of the University of Benin community, present this token gift to Professor Ravindra Shah as an appreciation for honoring the university in accepting its invitation to be the guest lecturer. His lecture which I will call historical, philosophical, and scientific, is very educative. So I hope Professor Ravindra Shah will keep this token gift on the locker beside his bed, which will remind him every morning the day he came to start learning about Founders Day in University of Benin. So, Professor, I present to you this gift. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we gradually come to the end of this Founders Day lecture, and I have the honor to invite the chairman of the ceremonial committee, Dr. Obi Osadolo, to please move the vote of thanks.
The Chancellor, sir, the Vice Chancellor and Principal Officers of the University, the representatives of Omonoba Nendokwak Bolokpolo, Oba Eridiawa CFR, the Oba of Benin, deans and directors, special guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen and women of the press. First and foremost, I want to say that the University of Benin has made history today. This is because this is the first time that Dr. Ravindra Shah is ever visiting Nigeria. And like the Chancellor already observed, Ravindra Shah has also learned something new today about Founders Day. And all this is happening in the University of Benin. And so, as the University of Benin is making history, we all are also making history. First and foremost, I know that our Chancellor had a very tight schedule today. But as a distinguished scholar himself, and someone who is very interested in the welfare, the future of this university, he has made up his time to be here physically present for this convocation lecture. Chancellor, sir, we say thank you to you and God bless you. I want to also thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor Osayuki Oshodi, JP. I know that when the idea of having this Founders Day lecture came up, we had a series of discussions. And he said, let us think the other way, which means an idea and a dream. That idea and dream of our Vice Chancellor is simply to ensure that the University of Benin is captured in international domain of the International Academic Society. VCSA, I want to thank you for your idea, for your support, for the encouragement in ensuring that all the way from Vancouver in Canada, we brought here today our special guest lecturer, Professor Shah. Thank you so much, sir. The registrar and other principal officers of the university, I know how far you have gone to ensure that this day is a huge success. I thank you all. Our deans and directors, I thank you too. Now I come over to our guest lecturer. There is something inspiring and challenging about today's convocation lecture, and that is found on page 11. Just one line that says, the idea of excellence must be embedded with the idea of dream. That, in a nutshell, summarizes all that we have heard from him today. Not just that, since he arrived in Nigeria some days ago, rather than stay in his hotel room to watch CNN and Al Jazeera, he chose to do something very unique for the University of Benin. He has met with the Dean of Dentistry and other staff and students of dentistry to ensure that that department is integrated with the international program of the University of British Columbia in Vancouver. Dr. Shah, on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, I say thank you so much for that effort. Dr. Shah, who himself is a professional and a dentist, has also assured the University of Benin that it's not just a matter with dentistry, but with all faculties and departments of the University of Benin to move into the international stage. Like the VC said, staff and students very soon will be in Vancouver on this exchange program. I want to thank you for that, sir. We know, Dr. Shah, if you were not here and we are sending letters to you by email or by courier, you'll be wondering what kind of university is the University of Benin. But today, and I'm sure, you have seen something very unique and distinct about the University of Benin, the best in Nigeria, the greatest in Africa. This effort in the last 3 years has been what we call and describe as the internationalization policy of our Vice Chancellor, Professor Osayuki Oshodi. We are thanking you today because we know that this first trip will be the beginning of several trips to the University of Benin. I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank your family for releasing you. I want to thank the University of British Columbia for releasing you. I want to thank you for the time you have spent here. And to thank your friend, Zubi Wosu. I know that is being a very strong support for this program. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for coming. If you are not here today, it would have been difficult to have this convocation lecture. I thank you all, and God bless you. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Obi Osadolo, the chairman of the ceremonial committee. Can we appreciate him one more time? Thank you. Very quickly, a few announcements. A minute after this lecture, or the lecture is over, as soon as we exit from the auditorium, there will be a cocktail party at the Chancellor's Lodge. But please be informed that the cocktail party is strictly by invitation. Strictly by invitation. Thereafter, while we are at the cocktail party, because I'm invited. Thank you. Thank you. Well, the Chancellor has extended an invitation to me. Thank you, Mr. Chancellor, sir, for that. While we are at the cocktail party, the stage will be set for the variety night. You can see their instruments are outside. We'll just come back from the cocktail party so that we can relax and enjoy what the activities are great students from the theater arts department and others in the entertainment business house for us. Tomorrow is a conferment, that's the climax of this year's convocation ceremony, the climax, and that's the conferment of higher degrees, doctorate degrees, and honorary degrees. As I've mentioned earlier, the Edo State government has been gracious in allowing movements during the environmental sanitation tomorrow. There will be environmental sanitation, but movements, there's no restriction on movement. And the ceremony begins here at exactly 10 a.m. So I want to enjoin all of you to please be here tomorrow so that we can all be a part of the last day of this ceremony. And I have the pleasure to please invite all of us to please be upstanding as we take the Uniben anthem, thereafter the national anthem, and thereafter we exit. First, the Chancellor's procession as we remain standing while that is done. Thank you. Please, let's all be upstanding as we take the Uniben anthem.
All over the wide world, a fruitful works unfold. What we sow with joy and pride, with gold our common goal. One heart and voice for all, we hail the purple clarion call. Arise, mighty Uniben, robe in your purple and gold, clad in your fertile green hem, knowledge for service unto the national anthem. Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to save our father's land, with love and strength and faith. Thy labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve with all our mind, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity. Please remain standing as a mark of respect for the Chancellor's procession so they can exit before us, please. Thank you. Uncle Jaco. They're hungry. I'll meet you outside.